deadly, if not the most deadly place on the planet to be a Christian in Nigeria. That's not going to be able to sustain itself and continue without leading to a violent split up of the country. And I say those words cautiously, and I don't like saying those words, but I believe it to be the truth. If the Nigerian government now does not get on top of this situation of what's taking place in Nigeria, and has been now for a number of years, if they don't get on top of it and start protecting their people, particularly the Christian community and the moderate Muslim communities that are being attacked, if they don't stop this, this is going to lead to broader bloodshed throughout Nigeria and probably a splitting up of the country.
Former U.S. Ambassador Sam Brownback speaking after the testimony from Nigerians who are direct victims of the violence and targeted killings of Christians in the middle belt of Nigeria. He is right, since Nigerian government has refused to protect Nigerians, they are left with no other option than to seek ways of defending themselves. And the most viable way of defending themselves is to first of all seek independence. It's not legal in Nigeria to own the kind of firearms that these terrorists have. So you cannot face them. When Nigerian soldiers run away from them because they can't match their weapons, how much more ordinary civilians? So if you have to defend yourself against these types, and the government that is supposed to do the job for you is not doing anything, they don't care, they party while Nigerians face violence, face death on a daily basis, then the only option left for you is to seek independence so that you become your own army, you become your own soldiers, your own police. You wouldn't have to blame anyone again. You wouldn't have to blame Tinubu, you wouldn't have to blame APC administration or the Nigerian army. The reason people blame them today is because they are in charge of running the country. They cannot be in charge enjoying the trappings of office without being held accountable. They have to do the job for which they are in office. So he's right. And it wouldn't hurt Nigerians to seek that independence. They can't continue waiting till all of them are wiped off. The government is not doing anything. As a matter of fact, it seems Donald Trump is no longer interested in what is happening in Nigeria. He's never said anything since then, since he's gotten a new drone base in Nigeria. Remember, they lost a drone base in Agadez, Niger, and immediately they got this one in Bauchi. He no longer talks about it, and it's not as if the killings have stopped. It has increased tremendously.
Jane bomb Monday market in Zaka presented. Subhanallah. After you've taken your number, I'll be your father.
It needs to be said again, if Nigeria ever descends into a violent civil war, you have to blame the leaders, you have to blame Tinubu, you have to blame all the APC members, because in a normal society they shouldn't even be campaigning. Remember what happened in 2015? The presidential election was postponed so that the then Goodluck Jonathan administration could mount a serious challenge against the Boko Haram and other terrorists. They had to get the security under their control before the election held. But this time around, election is still 1 year away, but they have started to campaign. Everywhere you see them, they call themselves city boys, did that. They are campaigning, telling people that the only person that can do better in this country is Tinubu. This is despite the fact that everything is falling apart before everyone's eyes. So it doesn't make any sense. If it is a normal society, they won't be talking about campaigning. They won't be doing anything that will provoke Nigerians. They will be working seriously to make sure that all the problems, the major ones, the insecurity, the high cost of petrol, and the never-ending darkness in Nigeria, they will be working very hard to improve all these services so that they can now tell Nigerians, hey, look at what we've done. You can now reward us. Let's continue where we stopped. That's how a normal society works. But under this administration, they will lie to you, they will spread false narratives just to gain power. They lied their way to power, they deceived many northerners with Muslim tickets. It's nice to see that many of them are now preaching against it, especially in the mosques. Like you see this imam, he kept shouting that they will not be deceived next time. And as you can see, it's an open mosque in a field where everyone is hearing.
ɗanka ba, na ma kama sunansa, me yasa ba kama shayi ba? Wani ya fi, wallahi sai Allah ya tambaye ka. Wallahi shugaban ƙasa sai Allah ya tambaye ka. Me yasa ba kama shayi ba? Me yasa ba kama shayi ba? Ake kama bayan Allah a Zamfara. Me yasa ba kama shayi ba?
The cleric also asked Tinubu why he's able to protect his son Sheyi, that he has all the bodyguards that he can afford, but Nigerians can't have protection. So it is very clear that they have woken up. They are now openly campaigning against him. This is what it's supposed to be, because when he was in opposition, he didn't allow Goodluck Jonathan to rest. He kept calling on him, he kept attacking him, he kept asking him to resign. But today, when anyone calls on Tinubu to resign, the person is hounded, the person is intimidated, in some cases the person is arrested, like they are arresting political opponents today. Look at Malami, El-Rufai and the others. So the reality remains that Nigerians must still understand that no one is coming to save them. Even going by what this former US ambassador said, they are not going to invade this country to force a division, no. It is you that will demand what you want. Whatever you demand, the power will yield, because you have the power. You have the power of the masses, the power of numbers. The people controlling this country, pressing all the buttons, they are not even up to 1,000. This is the reality. So what happened to the remaining 200 and something million people? What are they doing? Let's even say that about 5 million people are behind what is happening in Nigeria, that they back the government either because they are gaining, they are benefiting from the system, or because they just want the status quo to continue. But what happened to the remaining 200 and something million? This brings to the question many people have been asking. Why have we not seen a massive protest in Nigeria, especially under Tinubu? The reason is very simple. Most protests that have happened in Nigeria have always been sponsored, either by foreign powers or local politicians. This is the reality. The docility of Nigerians didn't start today. They expect people to mobilize them before they can fight for their own cause. It's only EndSARS that you can say it was people-oriented. People just got tired of police intimidation and harassment and decided to start protests, and it spread until some influencers got involved and it became another thing. People abandoned their purpose. So the reason is simple. Nigerians are still expecting a politician to mobilize them for a protest, while the politicians this time are expecting Nigerians to get tired of what is happening and troop out to the streets to protest on their own. And on the other hand, foreigners are not interested. They are not interested in mobilizing any Nigerian to troop out in their massive numbers to protest against the government. This is simply because they have a puppet in Nigeria at the moment. If the person in power in Nigeria is against foreign interests, he's not protecting their interests, they will mobilize Nigerians to speak up like they did under Goodluck Jonathan. So Nigerians must understand this. Under Goodluck Jonathan, the US president at the time, Barack Obama, didn't hide it. He made videos urging Nigerians to vote Goodluck Jonathan out. So the funding wasn't hidden. They funded opposition just to remove Goodluck Jonathan. This time around, they have their own puppets in power. They are not going to fund anyone to remove Tinubu. If you have an ally in Tinubu, why fund another person to remove your ally? It doesn't make sense to them. It's better they trust their own ally, since he's going to play by their books. Whatever they want, he will do it. Like this drone base he has given them in Bauchi. It's better to continue with that person instead of going into the unknown. You don't know the next person you are going to fund. You don't know whether the person will dance to the tunes. So this is the reality. The reason we haven't seen any massive protests except the hunger protests of August, yes, that one was also semi-funded by politicians, but the reality remains that we can never see anything like EndSARS again, because people seem not to be tired enough, like it happened in 2020. If Nigerians are really tired, everyone will fold up, close your shop, don't go to work, and be on the street demanding for better living, demanding the government does the right thing. If you never demand anything from power, power never yields anything to you. Yes, they are enjoying themselves, traveling abroad, enjoying the trappings of office, partying, while Nigerians are gnashing their teeth, suffering, toiling every day. At the end of the day, even when the salary is paid, you've already spent 2 times the salary. What is 70,000 naira minimum wage going to do for anyone in this day, when petrol is being sold for 1,400 naira per liter? How many liters is 70,000 naira going to buy? So until Nigerians get really tired and stop hoping on a messiah, on anyone to mobilize them to the streets, on anyone to say, look at what you are going to do this, do that. No, you have to resolve on your own and troop out and demand it. If you don't do it, they will continue punishing you because you are not reacting in a commensurate manner. If they do A to you and you don't respond, the next time they will do AA, they will say, these people are very elastic. They continue taking everything we throw at them. They will continue punishing you. This is the reality. So Nigerians must stop that attitude of hoping that someone will come to save them. No one is coming to save you. People you expect to come and save you, what are they getting in return? All the foreign countries, they are enjoying their lives. Their citizens don't suffer the way you suffer in Nigeria. So what's in it for them? What are they going to gain by coming to save you in your country? It is you that is suffering, that is down there, suffering and crying every day. It is left for you to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. I'm not going home until the government solves this problem. If Nigerians demand that, the government will solve many of the problems in less than 24 hours. This is how it works. They want to enjoy that looting, that trappings of office, the long motorcades, all they enjoy in office. They want to enjoy it in peace. They don't want chaos. Once you start chaos, they will say, let's settle these people. Let's give them what they want so that we'll continue on what we are doing. So until Nigerians realize this, that they have this power, but they seem to be ignorant of that power, until Nigerians realize that, the problem will persist. All the insecurity will continue. All the looting, everything will continue. You can never get any reprieve from anyone.